Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima. Over the course of 2026, I'm playing the game Persona 3 Reload. Only I'm trying something a little different. I'm going to match the pace of the game. That's right, I'm playing this game one real day at a time. Please enjoy this different take on the game in a series I'm calling Persona a Day. Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima, and today is Thursday, June 4th. As I like to do, I'm going to start off by talking about what we did yesterday to make sure we're all aware of everything and coming into today fully informed. Then we'll get into today's gameplay and see where that takes us. After that, we'll come back here to the desk and talk about it a bit more and see what sort of other deeper connections we might be able to make. For any of you watching on YouTube, I will have timestamps in the description in case you want to jump to a specific section. And as I like to remind everyone, please be aware that this is a full playthrough of the game, so we will be encountering spoilers. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's first then talk about what we did yesterday on Wednesday the 3rd. Wednesday started out just before school. I met Junpei at the gates, and he had asked me if I have been helping Yukari with her investigations. You might remember that earlier in the week, back on Saturday actually I think it was, a student was found unconscious in front of the school, and nobody really knew why. There were a lot of rumors and speculations that went around, and we still don't have a lot of actual details, but something that's become a bit more prevalent in the rumor mill was the fact of potential supernatural encounters, ghosts and the like. And Yukari is not a fan of such topics. She seems to scare easy, but tries to also put on a brave face. Earlier in the week, she was trying to downplay the potential for ghosts to avoid having to talk about it, only to come across as the one that should lead the investigation into whether or not it is indeed ghosts after all. She didn't really have a way to get out of that, so she reluctantly accepted the task, and she'd asked me to help her out if I could keep an ear out for things and listen in and just try to, give her whatever aid I can. So Junpei was asking me if I'd been helping her with any of that, and I mentioned that, I was talking to some people around the school just to see what I could learn. I didn't really learn anything of meaning, but I was trying. And Junpei was kind of conflicted and kind of said, leave that to her. That's her challenge, her task. You're probably busy. I'm too busy to help her with that. But we talked about the fact that it was happening, and went on with a normal day of school from there. We had our morning classes, lunch, afternoon classes, all that good stuff. Nothing really stood out to us. It was just another one of those standard days. We got to the after-school time, and I talked to Junpei again, and he was kind of still thinking about what we talked about before school, about Yukari and the investigation, and he kind of said, maybe I'm not that busy. I did kind of scare her with my ghost story, so maybe I should take responsibility and help out as well. So he stepped up as well, and it sounds like we're both going to be trying to help her out as best we can with whatever we can investigate. So on that note, I decided to try to keep asking around and see what I could learn. There were a few other people with new things to say yesterday, so we did another tour of the school just to see what plot threads we could pull and see and follow. Just like the other day, there wasn't anything especially concrete. There were a couple points that people talked about delinquents and thugs that some of the victims had been hanging around with, which kind of made me think of Port Island Station in the outskirts section there. So I headed that way just to see if that led to anything. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary back there, but it was just another one of those things to keep in mind going forward. Without anything especially motivating in our investigation, I guess we were able to rule out certain people to talk to. So we'll just keep looking at that as we go forward. But that left a little bit of time in the afternoon for some other activities, so I decided to attend the student council meeting. It had been about a week since I had attended, and I don't want to wait too long between responsibilities like that. So I went to the meeting, and it seemed like a fairly standard meeting. It said the hours flew by as we worked on student council business. I was going to say everybody was working hard there, but Odagiri was conspicuously absent from the meeting, which seemed especially odd since he was the one that had sent me the text reminding me that we had a student council meeting yesterday. But the meeting wrapped up, and one of the students mentioned that, Odagiri wasn't there because he was doing his investigation. There'd been a student that was potentially smoking in the school, and Odagiri, as the head of the disciplinary committee, was looking into that. Mitsuru seemed aware of the fact that it was going on because Chihiro had told her, and also that Odagiri has some, I guess you could say, extreme methods to his investigation style, which didn't seem overly positive when it was initially presented. But he never did make it to the meeting as things wrapped up, so I was leaving the school, and as I was, I encountered him in the hallway talking to a third-year student. Talking might be a little bit of an oversimplification. More or less, Odagiri had accused this student of being the guilty party. And the student asked him, what evidence do you have of this? And Odagiri said that, I don't need evidence. You've been in trouble with the disciplinary committee in the past. You're clearly the guilty party because of all the past things you've done wrong. Even talking it out now, I don't like that logic. That's not a good investigation if you don't have evidence. I thought as much yesterday, and I still think that now. And the student being accused also thought that. He said, these were baseless accusations, and to basically get out of my way. I've got nothing to say to you. And Odagiri said, well, fine, if you're not the guilty party, then surely someone like you that breaks the school rules knows who is breaking them, so give me a name, someone to follow up with. And that was where the student had enough. And, he was done talking and ended up hitting Odagiri in the face before walking off and saying, basically, don't do this again, leave me alone. And Odagiri was quite frustrated and angry and said, you won't get away with this, as the student walked off. I was there, and I tried to de-escalate things by saying, knock it off to both of them, but it didn't really help. Thankfully, the other student left, and I was able to check on Odagiri and make sure that he wasn't badly hurt. And he seemed more or less no worse for the wear. He got hit in the face, so he wasn't feeling great, but he was able to, talking just fine, and said, oh, it's you, I'm glad you're here. And I just asked him, so what are you doing? Is this your investigation? Like I said, I have some misgivings on just blindly accusing someone without evidence, but he is definitely committed to solving the problem. And he says, I have to do this or the problem will just get worse. It'll never go away if I don't take drastic measures. And so, this is how I'm going about things. I still don't think it's the best approach, but his commitment is true. And he seemed to be appreciative that I was there and that I was able to see his methods. I guess it basically just feels like he is glad to have me around more so. He seems to trust me that little bit more. And that took our social link with the Emperor Arcana up to rank 4. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes going forward from here, but it was good progress yesterday. And so that took us back to the dorm in the evening. I had some free time as well there, and didn't end up going to Tartarus. I wanted to do something a little different and something a little more fun, so we hadn't been to Mandragora for the karaoke singing in a while, and I decided that would be a good way to go. I was specifically looking to work on our courage this week because we've been talking about all these ghost story investigations and things like that. And I figured as the decision maker in the combat party, having more courage would just make me that much more capable in staying cool in the face of pressure. And we've also got a full moon encounter coming up sometime on Monday, I believe. The mysterious boy showed up in our room a couple nights ago and warned us that the full moon is coming soon, so to be ready for it. So that was another reason I was trying to work on our courage. And so we were able to enjoy some time singing at Mandragora, and as good fortune would have it, that point of courage was enough to push us up to that new level. So we're no longer ordinary in our courage, we've made it to the level of determined. So that was really cool to see, and I went back to the dorm after that, feeling very accomplished and ready for a good night of sleep. So that was how yesterday, Wednesday, ended. That catches us all up and brings us into today, Thursday the 4th. I'll send us over to the game, and we'll see how that goes. We'll be right there. Okay. So this is where we left off after singing. This is where we gained that point of courage. You can see it nicely glowing yellow there, and we are now determined. Very cool to see. I'm still just as happy seeing it today as I was yesterday when it happened. So yep, we headed back to the dorm then, and that takes us into today, Thursday, June 4th. Well, she doesn't sound as despondent as she did the day before yesterday. Still yawning and still tired, so it's still probably taking a lot of her time and mental energy to do this investigation. And yeah, maybe not sounding bad, her mood's still there. This sucks. I spent so much time thinking about ghost stories that now I'm having nightmares. She does seem to be pushing herself. So I don't really feel like it's a good thing to say, oh yeah, what did you find out? Keep thinking about those things you don't want to think about. Junpei and I are going to try to help her out as well, so share some of that burden with me maybe. Don't push yourself. Don't worry, I'm fine. There are just so many stupid rumors going around that it's tough trying to make sense of this whole thing. We have noticed that too, yeah, when talking with the other students, there's been a lot of nothing, if any of that makes sense. A lot of stuff that doesn't really tie into anything else. Nothing that's easy to substantiate. No commonalities to really see in a lot of things. So yeah, I'm right there with her on understanding that. Oh, I did get some useful info though, so I plan on digging even deeper today. Try to remember what you find out at school, okay, Shima-kun? I will try. It'd be kind of nice if she told me whatever that info was so that I would have that information, but I guess she wants to follow up on it herself first. So it was another of those quick school days. Classes ended for today. I guess we had exams not that long ago, so classes now are those kind of standard, just new topics, new lessons that consumed our time but didn't really need us to see what happened. Only 2 messages today. Chihiro, dear Shima-san, I hope I'm not disturbing your afternoon. Do you have time to meet? And Miyamoto, practice. That's today. Let's go. Let's get the game saved as well. And how did everyone else spend their time? Very social link heavy again. A little bit of daily life, but there was time with Miyamoto, with Chihiro, with Suimitsu, which is one I have not met yet, and with Tomochika. Okay, well, I think our first point of... our first plan of action, that's where we go. I think we should ask around the school, see what we can learn. We were doing that the last couple days. Let's just keep talking to students and see what sort of new information we might be able to find. Nothing is visually jumping out at me. And you know what? We're going to head upstairs to the roof first off today. I've been missing out, coming back there later so often that I'm taking the wrong stairs. That I've been having to come back here. So let's start off at the roof of the school and work our way down today. We can also think along the way about who we want to spend time with. We just ran by Chihiro there. There actually was somebody up on the roof to talk to yesterday, so we did talk to him. I don't see anybody else up here. And while we're up here, though, I liked the view the other day. Let's at least enjoy that a little bit. Yeah. Nice color to the sky. More of the city off in the distance. Yeah, that'd be a nice view. We won't dwell up here too much, but nice to see it. I guess now we can head downstairs. And I guess this also takes us nicely to the corridor here, so we can stop on there and make sure there's nothing. I wonder if the old couple's available today. It's been a while since we've seen them. I do want to talk to them about the persimmon tree. We haven't found out much, but we did find a student that was talking about hearing the same plans to chop it down that we had heard, or that the elderly couple had heard. Maybe we should spend time with them today if they're available. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anybody that's got any new information for us around. Nobody's hiding in any corners back this way either, so maybe there's somebody out in front of the school. But we'll also try to just cover all our bases and walk the full perimeter of the town today. Just really make sure, dig deep to not miss any conversations. Yeah, here's somebody that might have something for us. Very curious student. I heard that those students who were sent to the hospital were bullying other students. Maybe it was their victims who did that to them. Something to consider. I'm actually not sure I've got that actual scope of just how many students we're talking about here either. Well, if I'm considering the elderly couple, maybe it makes more sense to start at the bottom here and work our way up. And as I've been pointing out, we're seeing a lot more of the lost of the apathy syndrome people around town. The news has talked about it, people have talked about it, and we've definitely seen it. Don't see anybody up here that needs to be talked to. We already picked up some new seedlings from Rafflesia there, so we've got new stuff to plant tonight once we harvest our tomatoes. The outskirts. This is where we'd stopped the other day because there were rumors of thugs potentially, coming up from a couple different students. Weak cat. Mew. Have you seen anything? No? Okay. And there's the brown cat over there, so I'll get all his status quo back here right now. Again, a quick glance, I'm not seeing anybody here. Let's play in a game parade today. There's High School of Youth to work on charm, and Punch Boxer for strength.
You got it.
I hope the pharmacist here is having a good day. Store looks like it's doing about normal. A lot of good deals on medicine. Nothing we need right today, but before Monday hits, I do want to stop in. So there'll be a sale on Saturday. I think that'll be our time to just really make sure we're as prepared as we can be with medicine.
You got everything you need?
Yep, I'm not here to do much shopping today, just checking in and saying hi. So have a good day.
Thanks.
If we do end up spending time with an elderly couple, they are the Hierophant. Yes, they are. And I do not have that persona with me. Not that I couldn't acquire one, but... there was also Chihiro. That would take her up to rank 4, which is kind of in line with everybody else. I didn't see Yuko in the hall. There was Kenji as well. That would take him to rank 4. And the elderly couple is already at rank 4. So from just like a balanced approach, maybe it does make more sense to talk to somebody else today. From a persona standpoint, I could talk to Chihiro. I could go to track practice. I could spend time with Kenji. Yeah. Nothing against the elderly couple. They do have a nice wide availability as well. Their store's only closed on Mondays. I think most days I am able to spend time with them. Oh yeah, in that regard, maybe it would be nice to see Chihiro again. I guess that will end up, backtracking to the school, but let's think maybe we'll shift gears and go in that direction today.
Marvelous.
We must have made a bit of social link progress, so it's as if your presence emanates a far brighter radiance than before. Perhaps all your hard work is starting to show. Here, it may not be much, but this is my gift to you. Please accept it. Another Twilight fragment.
I'm looking forward to it.
Those are always useful once we go back into Tartarus. I still cannot foresee the limits of your potential. I look forward to witnessing you grow even further. How may I assist you?
Here are my requests.
Yep, still no new requests. Oh, looks like we're good
Very
there.
well then.
And we're here, so we'll stop in to check on Igor as well. Get to enjoy the sights and sounds from back here.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Igor, Elizabeth, just stopping in to say hi. Hope you're having a great day. I don't really have any business, but I just wanted to see you and see how you're doing. Let you know that I'm doing good, and I'm getting ready for whatever happens on Monday. So I'll be counting on you to help out as best I can as well. Thank you, and I'll see you when I do.
We look forward to your next visit.
A nice quick visit. They probably got their own stuff going on, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with them. But again, just to check in and see them, and keep them as a regular part of our playthrough. And we're here. Officer Kurosawa deserves the same. Yep, he's also been seeing more of the apathy syndrome people around. And I don't really need any gear. I actually think I'm as current as I can be for what my party will need. Yep, I've got a good weapon. We've all got good sandals. I think the bulletproof shirt is the newest form of armor.
What are you looking for?
So I'm looking at weapons.
Take as long as you need.
Yeah, he's good there. So yeah, we're good there. Accessories were good, footwear was good, weapons were good. Yeah, that
All done here?
covers all those bases.
Come back soon.
So equipment-wise, I think we're set for the full moon on Monday. And it was good to see Officer Kurosawa and talk to him as well. The shrine's been especially quiet recently. There used to be an elderly gentleman that was here, but I don't see him anymore. Nobody at the playground. But I haven't gone and stared at the tree in a while, so for today's, couple breaths of fresh air, let's just enjoy the sacred tree. Alright, couple deep breaths, just a little bit of time to clear our head, get out of the hustle of the city, and just calm down a bit. So, I feel good. Hope you do too. Let's get back to it. Yep, I don't see anybody to talk to here either. You know, more and more apathy syndrome people, more of the lost. Nothing for our investigation. Oh, I see a gentleman over there. Yeah, maybe the leisurely businessman has something for us. Gosh, look at all those apathy syndrome guys. They're skipping school and work, right? That's nice. I wish I had apathy syndrome too. Then I could sit here all day long just like them. Oof. I don't know if that's the thing to really be envious of. I mean, you know, I get it at times when work is stressful and stuff like that, and you wish for anything to get away from it, but wishing for something like that seems rough. I hope his day turns around, or his week, or his months, whatever. I hope his time turns around and gets better for him. Doesn't really help our investigation either way. But, again, I guess, you know, we don't have any new information, but we're narrowing down the places where we can source it. I don't feel like I'm missing anything at this point, which there's a lot to be said for that, at least. And by that logic, I wanted to walk by the front of this dorm here before we go back to the school, just to, again, make sure. If there's that one critical part of the puzzle literally right under my nose in front of the building, that'd be kind of rough to miss out on. But I didn't see it, so back to school. Probably. Either Chihiro or Kenji. I don't remember who we saw more recently. I think it was Kenji. So let's head up and talk to Chihiro. Let's save our walk around town here, get that all current and caught up. And I'll also brief us again on where we were at with the social link last time we spent time. Yeah, you'll probably remember we were in the library. It wasn't really that long ago, now that I think about it, but we'll keep that storyline going. She wanted some help with her math in the library, so we went there, and she and I were talking about how glad she was to have me on the student council, and how glad she was to have joined as well. And a couple next to us thought we were talking a little too loud and told us to shut up. And Chihiro apologized because, yeah, you're supposed to be quiet in the library. But then that same couple, the boyfriend of the two, said that, oh man, I can study a bit more, but I'll need a kiss first. And the girlfriend's like, oh, you, fine, you know, come on. And they went off to, you know, to do what they do. And, you know, it was still within the library. And Chihiro was quite displeased to see that. She was like, you know, she was sputtering. Here? They're doing that here? Here of all places? Don't they know better than that? They can't do that here. And, you know, she was flustered, but that was less of her passive self. And she was like, we need to tell the student council about this. We need to have an investigation. This can't be allowed to go on. She really wanted to take direct action about that. So, yeah, like it says here, you know, she expressed her disapproval of a couple kissing in the library. I've learned a little bit more about how she views relationships. So that was where we last left this series. Well, let's continue on today and see where we can go from here. Because I do have a Justice Persona, we'll get that little bit more potential social experience. Oh, Shima-san, are you on your way home? Would you like some company? It seems like Chihiro wants to walk home with me. I've got Principality with me, so that will help. We learned the first time that we walked back to the dorm together that she lives in the exact opposite direction, so it'll be interesting to see which direction we take to get home. From like a chivalry standpoint, I'd kind of like to go towards her place of residence this time, just to kind of be fair, but I guess wherever she wants to go, I will go too. Okay. And like I've said, there will be times where we interact with social link people and it doesn't actually make storyline progress with it, but they're still making relationship progress. Kind of like those days we had to talk to Chihiro a few times before it was enough to unlock the social link. So it seems like we won't probably advance to a new rank with a social link, but we'll still make social progress. And I still think it's a good use of our time. It is nice to spend time with her and make that progress. So yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, but before that, do you mind if we stop by the library first? Sure. I really do enjoy talking with you, Shima-san. kind of interesting to come back to the library and talk, despite being told to shut up last time we were here. But I like to think, okay, maybe we are still aware of that, and we're keeping it quieter. Maybe this is also Chihiro's way to kind of take stock of what's going on in the library and just make sure that some of those more public interactions are not occurring. Oh, how about this too? Last time we were here, I was supposed to help her with her math, but we never actually got to that. So maybe this is kind of that makeup chance for me to try to help her with those problems she had last time that I wasn't able to address. Yeah, so yeah, even if the storyline doesn't advance, we can kind of add our own here like we've done to things. So there's more than just us chatting in the library, getting closer. So yeah, after all that, after what we saw here, plus my own little headcanon story, maybe that's why we were able to get a little bit closer. Yeah, that was a good use of our time, I think. And it's about time to leave school. I decided to go back to the dorm. I wonder what Yukari was able to learn with her investigation.
Welcome back.
Sup, dude? And a good reminder, because there's a good chance I would have forgotten about those, so I appreciate the game doing that for me. Come to think of it, the crops I planted on the rooftop should be ready to harvest by now. Maybe I should go check on them. I should definitely go check on them. Looks like Mitsuru and Akihiko had some new stuff to say, so we'll come back to them. First things first, I gotta head to my room. I gotta put this bag away. Alright, that's better. No messages today. So how did everybody spend their time? 3% of people spent time with a social link I have not unlocked yet. Everybody else went daily life activities, and nobody went to Tartarus, which either means everybody's happy with their progress, or there's some reason tonight that we can't go. But I'll probably also try to look at that daily life route, in whatever form that takes. But first things first, let's head upstairs. A different direction for us, but nice to have something different to do. It gets us seeing more of the dorm here as well. And for the longest time, this door was to be kept closed, and if open, we were to close it. But now we have access to go up here. Look at those tomatoes. It was really cool the chairman to set all this up for us. He didn't need to do any of that. He just, figured this would be a fun thing for us to do. I don't know, I think maybe he likes gardening himself, but he's too busy to do it, he said. So he wanted to get this up here for us and just give us that opportunity if we wanted. It was nothing mandatory, there weren't schedules or expectations. It was just him providing all this for us to use in our free time if we wanted to. So it was a really cool thing to see. Looks like the produce can be harvested. That's 3 healthy tomatoes. Should I plant something? I think, obviously. Oh, I didn't realize I had more healthy tomato sprouts. I guess I didn't need to necessarily buy the buff potato sprout. But we bought it, let's plant it. Looks like it can be harvested on 6/16. Plant it. Alright, I planted the buff potato sprout. Looks like I can harvest them from 6/16 onward. So let's look at those tomatoes. What can they do for us? Healthy tomatoes. Nice, 100 HP to 1 ally. We've got 3 of those. Let's get some of these new tags off here while we talk. It's nice to have those healing items just to, to have that fallback on. We've got this, whatever it is, on Monday, this ordeal that we're going to encounter, so this is like free medicine. 100 HP is nothing to sneeze at either. Right now, our max HP for everybody is in the right around 200, so that's basically half our HP in one item. So I'm really glad to have those. And it was a nice passive thing that we were able to enjoy just planting and letting grow over time. And it really was the time side of it too, because this was, I think it was 10 days ago we got this set up, so it was 10 real days since we planted those. Still seems especially quick for a plant to grow from a seedling or sprout all the way to full grown, but I think it was also mentioned at the flower shop that something about the seeds here, causes them to grow especially rapidly. So at least it was kind of, addressed without needing to delve too deeply into the why of it all. But I don't see anything else to see up here, so let's head back downstairs and, yeah, Akihiko and Mitsuru, we're going to talk to them. We'll get cleaned up in here first before we head downstairs. Can't be still thinking about the stuff he just planted, which I guess is good. There's nothing else super critical in his mind that he can just think forward that far out. Kind of surprised he's not thinking about the impending full moon, but maybe that means he feels good about that, and he's not worried about it. He's able to just think about the mundane plants that are now growing. Akihiko, how you doing?
Well done.
Man, is Takeba something. Don't you get tired of those rumors? Yeah, kind of. I mean, on one hand, I don't really care, but hearing the same stuff over and over again that people are so convinced is true without having actual evidence behind that does kind of get tiring.
I see.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, good luck with your research. Is something the matter? Just wanted to chat.
Hello.
How is your research into the ghost story progressing? It does seem like we're missing something. I can't really say great because I don't have a lead to follow. Maybe I've missed something, but whether we're missing something or not, I feel like I'm missing something, and I don't want to. I don't want to lie about that. Yeah, I do feel like we're missing something.
Precisely.
Well, I can see why it would be difficult to ascertain the truth in such a situation. But don't let yourself be discouraged. All right, that helps.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, we could actually go to Tartarus tonight. I don't see it as especially necessary because, I've said before, we've reached a border floor, so we can't climb any further. And level-wise, we are level 18, like everybody else's average. Yeah, I still can't get over that because I know it said 19 the other day, and I was pretty sure it said 20 before that, but somehow everybody's average level is 18, and floors explored is 42, so we are in line with everything else. So I feel good about that. Let's see what's on TV, though. That's why I walked over here. Hi, I'm Trish with today's installment of Who's Who. Today's subject is a 20-year-old lady with a beauty mark near her mouth. She's said to be an excellent therapist. I wish I could schedule a session. Next is news. Pain, pain, go away. All right. Well, what do we want to do with our time? Nice to see those couple threes there now. So we are an unpolished, determined, above-average person. I like to see that. So, of course, of these three, charm seems to be the logical next step to take that up in line with everything else. Although, I could use progress in any of the three, so I don't want to say it has to be charm. But just from a progress standpoint, I do want to kind of lean towards that one tonight. If I remember right, the arcade might have been an option. There's also the ramen place, Hagakure. But let's head out and just see where the evening takes us. We've already talked to Elizabeth and Igor. Officer Kurosawa, the pharmacist. So yeah, we're good on all of our regulars there. We can stop in Club Escapade. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while. Well, we do it pretty much every day, but we haven't done it today, I should say. See anything here especially in need of our knowledge. Actually, while I'm here, there is something I'm thinking about.
Go have a look for you.
School X site note. A note with a URL of a covert site about a familiar school. I wonder if this is any information about our school, and if that could actually be part of our investigation. I have played the game before, but I don't 100% remember at this point, so... this is genuine confusion on my part, and uncertainty. I do have the money, I do have the time. If this does help with our investigation, that could be good. I guess if not, it's still something we're going to want to use at some point. I guess I was saying I was going to try to do all I could for this investigation. And if I have a question on whether or not this is part of it, that seems like it would be unfair to not pursue it. Maybe that would be good. It's only 500 yen. You know what, let's pick it up. Maybe I will use that tonight.
It's been a pleasure.
Just to see. If I change my mind along the way, we still could. I've still got it with me then, in case something else comes up. Nobody else up here to talk to. And kind of, I guess, for the same logic of trying to use up the software that's available at the Net Cafe there. The same deal with the gentleman at Club Escapade. If I can exhaust his, various topics, then that'll be one less thing to have to consider in the evening. Game Parade is working on charms. That wouldn't be bad either. But again, I've got it in my head about that forum note, so that could be something good to rule out. For that same reason, I guess, as talking to everybody at the school and just knowing for sure that this is or isn't part of our investigation is one less thing to keep weighing on our mind. And we're not using any sort of guides or walkthroughs. We're just taking it as it comes, so there's a better than great chance that this won't be the ideal play or the exact right choice to make, but for our story, for this, the way I'm playing the game and the way we're experiencing it, I think it fits with what our character would be considering. And it makes it for a cheaper afternoon, evening time with just 500 yen. Not that we're hurting for money, but I don't want to spend through it as fast as I can either. But yeah, let's do that. We picked it up, we bought it, we've got the time to do it. Worst case scenario, it just, gives us one less thing that we need to pursue later. We'll save the game here. And nobody else is on the computer, so I don't have to worry about being in the way like I was the other day when Mitsuru was uploading things on Sunday, I think it was. But yeah, we've got School X side note. Well, maybe this will give us some information about the rumors that are going on or something. Let's find out. Tonight, School X site note. Let me see what this URL leads to. Moonlight Channel. Looks like this is an unofficial forum for Gekkoukan High. Topics include things like third years only, and who do you think is hot? Seems like the newest topic is... anyone try the taiyaki at the school store? I'll take a look at this. Okay, and I'm guessing this is, forum style, so we've got a forum name here of all A's. Never seen this on sale. Why is there such a limited amount? Sardine. I saw someone complain to the vendor about this. Beta. Good news! The taiyaki is going to be a permanent item now. I asked about it, and apparently there were a lot of requests for it. It sounds like they'll have it in stock daily now. Tennis lover. Wait, so we can seriously get it whenever now? Whenevs now? Oda Nobunaga. Slow down. Oh, I had auto going. Let's go back to our log here. I missed that one. Yeah, I'm gonna get one, he says. So yeah, it seems like the special taiyaki will be available at the school store. Well, I guess that wasn't any information about a ghost, but it is a new item at the school store, so we do have that to check out. Yeah. Maybe not the best use of our time, but again, we know, we have that knowledge. We don't have that hanging over our head as a potential anymore. So there is value to be had in that. And maybe this taiyaki will have some utility for us as well. Maybe it's a good healing item or whatever. Yeah, we'll have to try to remember tomorrow at school to stop in and see if we can buy that. So that was our evening. It's getting late. I should head back to my room. Not the usual progress of social skills or anything like that, but it was going to be something we were probably going to do at some point anyway, so nothing wrong with doing that now. But I'm headed back to my room. All right. Just like that, that is the end of Thursday the 4th. So I will get us back to the desk and let's talk about it a bit. Okay, so here we are back at the desk. That was the end of Thursday, June 4th, and it was another good day. It was another quick day, obviously. We can see how far into the things we are already, but as I've been saying, we're going to have those longer days, we're going to have those shorter days, and this just happened to be one of those shorter days. It started out at school with Yukari right at the school gates, still talking about just how much has been on her mind with the investigations. She still hates the topic of supernatural things and scary things, and now she's been having nightmares as a result. So I did try to say, don't push yourself too hard, kind of trying to remind her that we are a team. For the same reason that we have a balanced team in Tartarus when we're investigating, we have the same thing outside of Tartarus, where we can count on each other for our strengths and weaknesses. This is kind of like in combat where she is weak to those topics and where she's getting knocked down by them. And maybe Junpei or I are resistant to them. I gained a point of courage now, so I'm determined. So maybe she could outsource some of that to me and let me take the brunt of those attacks, as it were, rather than having her have to deal with it all. I know there's some amount of pride in being told that you can do this and we want you to handle investigating that, but there's nothing wrong with relying on your allies for that either. But she's hanging in there as best she can, and she said that she had some sort of lead she was going to follow up on. She didn't tell me what it was, so I wasn't privy to that information, but I hope that went well for her. But that took us into the school day then, and it seemed like another one of those fairly standard ones. We talked about it in the moment. Since we're coming off of exams not that long ago, it was probably just new topics and regular stuff that we didn't specifically need to see, but it was still a full day of school. And that brought us to the afternoon, which in and of itself was also kind of standard. I was trying to continue the investigation, and there weren't a lot of people to talk to that we haven't already talked to, but there were a couple. Again, I still don't really feel like I walked away having anything good and actionable, but I guess the prevailing theme throughout the day was ruling things out and talking to people, investigating things, and just knowing that those things are now investigated. They probably won't provide new leads, or if they do, I guess we'll see the indicator for it, but we're as informed as we can be for the people that are available right now. So there's something to be said for that. We're not missing anything. We just don't have anything good to work with. But that gave us some free time in the afternoon after talking to people there, and originally I was going to spend some time with the elderly couple, but kind of talked myself out of that since I would have needed to have picked up another persona. Well, I wouldn't have needed to, but it would have been to our benefit to have the corresponding persona with us, so I didn't want to leave those free points on the table, basically. And since I did have Justice with me, and it had been a little time since we talked to Chihiro, it seemed like a good chance to just see her again. So I met up with her, and we headed to the library. We talked a bit and got a little closer that way. And I said, I like to think that while we were there, she was checking out to make sure that there weren't still students that were acting inappropriately in the library. And I was also there to help her with that math lesson that we didn't get a chance to talk about the other day. And so we gained a little bit of social progress, but that actually wasn't enough to take the social link rank any higher. So we're still at rank 3? Rank 3. We haven't improved our rank, but I think it was rank 3 that we were at. But it looks like next time we might be able to make an advancement. But that was just a good afternoon. Nothing special other than just getting to spend that time together. And then we parted ways. So after that, I headed back to the dorm. This was the first time I had a chance to harvest the produce on the roof. We had those planter boxes that Chairman Akutsuki had set up for us, and today the tomato seedlings we planted were ready. So I was able to get 3 healthy tomatoes out of that. And those look surprisingly good for use. Good-looking tomatoes, but they also will heal 100 HP in battle, and I've got 3 of those, so coming into Monday and not knowing what that's going to have in store for us, having some more healing items is definitely a welcome sight. I was able to plant a couple potato seedlings that I'd picked up the other day. Those will be ready in 12 days, I think. So we'll have that to look forward to going forward. And that didn't actually take any time, so we were able to get that done, get cleaned up. Talked to Akihiko and Mitsuru. Akihiko said he was feeling for Takeba and the investigation she has to do because she doesn't like it. But, told us to basically just hang in there, asked what my thoughts were on hearing the same rumors all the time. And I told him it does kind of get old because you're hearing stuff that is secondhand information that's not verifiable. And some people are taking it as the gospel truth. So that can be rough. Mitsuru asked me how the investigation was going. And I was forthright on that too and said, not really good. I feel like we're missing something because I don't really have a lead to follow on that. And she said basically, okay, well, stick to it. Do your best. Don't get discouraged, I think was her wording. So that was nice to see. It wasn't one of those feelings of disapproval and disappointment of, we picked the wrong person for the job then. It was just understanding, and that felt good. I didn't end up going to Tartarus for the same reasons as usual. We've made it to a barrier floor. We're at a good level. Decided to spend the rest of the evening doing something else. I was thinking about spending time working on our charm, but we'd stopped by Club Escapade as part of our normal evening rounds, and I thought about the guy that was selling website links. And I remembered that there was one about School X. It was a School X site node, which I thought had to be about our school. And there was that part of me, since we've been doing this investigation, that's like, what if that URL link takes us to something about the ghost stories at the school, or something about the supernatural? And I just kept, getting in my head as we were standing there. And it's like, what if it does? I don't want to miss out on that part of the investigation that we're supposed to be doing. So I decided to buy that for 500 yen and take it back to the dorm for the shared computer. And so I used that link when I got there, and it did take us to a school forum, a secret special forum for our school. It wasn't anything about hauntings, unfortunately. It was a couple students talking about some taiyaki that the school store sells that was always out of stock, but now it's going to be a regular in-stock item all the time. All the students seemed excited and wanted to check it out, so I guess it's a special item at the school store that hadn't been available before that should be available starting ideally tomorrow. So we'll try to stop there and pick some of that up next chance we get and see what use that has for us. It was kind of a bummer that it didn't have anything to do with the school being haunted or rumors to follow up on that way. But like I'd said earlier, it kind of fits in with that theme of our day of ruling out options. If I didn't pick that website note up, I would have been just wondering about it. It would have been in the back of my head the whole time. It's like, what if that was the answer? What if? So now we know. It didn't help us, but it checked something off our list of things that need to be investigated. And I think as far as an investigation goes, that is an important aspect of investigating and ruling out things that don't need to be pursued. So now we know with certainty that that is not an avenue to look at going forward. It just kind of helps focus our efforts on what is left over. So it wasn't, the normal kind of evening progress of social skills or levels or any of that, but it was knowledge, it was information, and it was a plan to act on going forward, I guess. So that didn't take much of our evening, but it was enough. We spent our time, we enjoyed it, and we just walked away having that knowledge. So we were able to get to bed then at a reasonable hour and prepare for Friday. So that is the end of Thursday, June 4th. It's been a great day, and I'm so glad that you were here to spend it with me. My name is Tom Shima. I stream this daily Persona a Day series every day at 12:30 Eastern Time. So if you ever want to come live, I'd love to have you here. Feel free to stop by my Twitch channel as well and check the schedule, because that should have the time available in your local time if that's easier to see. But I would love to have you here. And if you miss a day or want to catch up on any other day all the way back to the start of the playthrough, I have a playlist going on my YouTube channel of every single day. I upload each day's playthrough there, so you can find it all right there. But I just hope everyone has a great Thursday, that your week is coming together as you want it to, that you're looking forward to a good Friday, and it's just everything is going the way you want it to. I've been Tom Shima. I've been so glad to have you with me again today on this Persona journey, and I hope I can see you again. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and goodbye. With that, we've reached the end of the day. Please look forward to next time to see where the game goes from here. This journey is being streamed live on my Twitch channel if you'd like to be there in person for the experience. Links and schedule details can be found in the description. I'll keep uploading each day's session to this channel so you can keep watching here. Once again, I'm Tom Shima. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you again as I continue the series, Persona a Day. What will tomorrow bring?